Here's a sideways question which I didn't put on the list which I sent to you. Should we be paying more attention to, say, indoor hockey in this country, have longer seasons, have an indoor sides, six-a-sides, and develop that way? With that standards.
It beggars belief that we live in a country like Scotland, which is decimated in December. We don't play an awful lot of indoor hockey. I mean, that's just nuts, right? You know, I mean, we should be much more focused towards bringing the league a little bit earlier, finishing it in October, November, when the weather dictates it, and then going indoor and spending a bit more time indoor. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a different game for sure, but I don't think we do an awful lot for kids to develop indoors or indoor hockey anyway. Again, it's club specific.
Look at the Germans or the Dutch or even the Belgians, where they're playing indoor hockey from a very, very young age.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at the Dutch women. The way they can thread a short corner through the tiniest of gaps is, I'm sure that's developed from indoor hockey.
Yeah, I mean, the skills that you get in indoor are you know, I always found that my playing style, as you know, my playing style is take the ball and run faster than the guy next to me, because there's no way he's going to catch.
You like the pass, do you, Neil?
Exactly. Well, you know, it works.
When I played with you, when I was up front in the same team as you, there's a lot of overlapping from you in midfield, should we say?
Yeah. I did like to run, but indoor, that advantage is robbed. You know, you can be as quick as you like, but over 100 meters, but you haven't got 100 meters. So you now having to focus on passing and accurate passing, because you know it's a very, very different game, and you're now looking at the skills, very close quarter skills, rather than the long sweeping passes and hits and things that you can get away with in the outdoor season. And you can tell the people that have had indoor experience, because when you get inside the circle, they're much more confident in taking on 2 or 3 players and then taking a shot. And you know, their very close skills are really, really good. If kids have got that ability, even under 14s, just to have that exposure, you know, indoors, I think would be a really good thing.
Smaller teams as well, it wouldn't have such an effect on. I think a lot of Scottish men's teams are dropping away because they're struggling to get 15, 18, 20 people on a roster. When it sits aside indoor, you only if you've got 10, you can probably get a team out on a weekly basis, which will probably give and then do along the lines of what you're talking about, of have 8 more age specific stuff up to 8 under 18, under 21.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is a good point. I mean, you know, you don't need as many people for indoor, and you know, you probably find that the quality of games is better, and there's less pressure on those people. You know, there's times, you know, particularly in the lower teams in a club, where you've got 9 players. And you turn up to an outdoor game with 9 players, and now you're struggling against a team that's got 14. And I know it doesn't sound like a great deal, because you only play 11 on the pitch. But in a game of hockey, because it's so fast, because you know you're now relying on substitutes. A prime example is that, you know, when we played this last year in Rotterdam. We had 14 players, and it was 41-degree heat when we played Germany. We lost to Germany 2-1 just before we beat England. I thought I'd throw that in there. And but the opposition had 17 players, and because of the heat and because of the intensity of the game, it was just a war of attrition, and you know, that's obvious all the way through the levels. It doesn't have to be at international level. It's all the way through the levels. If you've got more players and they're fresher, you can rest the players, you can put them back on, and you've got tactical advantage as well. So sometimes you can play more forwards in midfield versus defence, and sometimes you can play more defence. And so because you've got that flexibility and you're able to roll on and off, that's a huge advantage. So moving the sport indoors for kids means that the smaller clubs can actually do just as well. In fact, develop and improve because they're getting games, because they're not having to cancel so many, because they're having to, they don't have to rely on so many people. So the social people in the clubs don't feel the need to go to every single game, and they can pick up a few games, and it kind of keeps itself moving. So that's
Yes. Yeah. I remember speaking to one of the Faulkner brothers, the captain of the East Glinted men's team at the English indoor finals a few months ago. And the players want more indoor hockey. The coaches want more indoor hockey. We become better players come February. Give us more indoor hockey. We don't understand why there isn't more indoor hockey in the UK.
It's just nuts, isn't it? I mean, for the Northern Hemisphere group, I mean, lots of countries on the continent do it. Their indoor hockey season is much longer, and our outdoor hockey season is I guess it depends on the governing body and what the priorities are for that particular year. But I have seen that in particular when you're playing at the higher levels, that sometimes the season's been cut short because of the international season. And of course, you're just frustrating a huge bunch of people that can't get out and play because, February in Scotland, it's a hit or a miss whether the game is on or off,